I thought we would start playing with some validation in Blazor. So last stream, we did some dependency injection. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I used a client-side application, right? And then like debugging wouldn't work. And then we were kind of discussing at the end, well, maybe we should try a server-side. And so I went ahead and created a server-side project here. And then I moved our counter service, remember this thing, into this and hooked everything up just like it was before. Okay. But the only difference is we're server side now. And I tested it and check this out. Hold on. What were we on? We were on counter. This is really cool. This counter.razor. Wait, was that right? Yeah, that's right. Title, counter service. Go to my counter service. Look, I'm gonna hit this breakpoint. Let me run this app. I was really excited when this happened because the last stream we couldn't get any debugging to work. So it's because we were using client side. So I moved to server side, and now debugging should work. My slow laptop will hurry up and build this thing. Well, what's really cool now is without video, I can like look around, I can pick my nose, I can get the wax in my ears, and you guys can't see me doing that stuff, right? Oh, so Code Stencil says that image looks a lot younger than the real you. What are you talking about? That's me. That was just like a couple years ago. So yeah, so I should hit this click button, and look, we hit a breakpoint. Woohoo! I'm so excited about that. Like, you should have seen me testing breakpoints, and that was awesome. But anyways, let's close this out. Oh, actually, I kind of want to stay on this topic because remember, let me bring up, is it Alt Tab? Yeah, Alt Tab. Remember, we were talking about the registering, registering our service as a singleton and what would happen on a server-side project, right? Remember that? On a client-side project, if I were to open up a new tab, so let me go back to our app here. And so I'm gonna hit counter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I'm gonna copy this, open a new tab, open another instance or navigate to this app again. Look, it's 5, right? So if I click here in this other tab, see what's it at right now. It's at 8. So watch when I hit increment, it's gonna go to 9. Boom, you see what happened there? So by registering it as singleton on a server side, we know that every person that connects to our server to run this app will get the same instance. So what we have to do is we actually have to say add scope. Boop, add scoped, right? By doing that, that is scoped. The instance is scoped to the connection, okay? So let me just run that real quick just to demonstrate that it actually functions. So keep that in mind when you're using services that may need to keep track of state based on the current connection or the current user, because you're gonna want to use scope for that. So let's go ahead and wait for this to load. All right, so I can sit here and count. Let's copy that. We'll open a new tab. This is a new connection, right? And my count is 0, and I can increment these individually, and everything works as expected. So keep that in mind, right? That you'll want those type of services to be registered as scoped. So cool little experiment. Okay, so now I want to play with validation because validation is very important in just about every application you'll ever write. And so how do we do this in Blazor? I figured we just go through the documentation and figure it out. So for one, I'm going to, we'll start here. Let's do it underneath this. So what I want to do is let's start by adding, we got to add an object that I want to validate. So I'm going to add a new class and we'll call this person, right? We'll add a person class. That works. And then let's give it like, I don't know, a name. That's pretty common. And then maybe an age. That's good enough. All right. And then I know I'm going to have some code, so I don't want to put a code behind because this will be simple, very simple code. Let's just do the whole, code block thing that they do. And we'll define our person. We know we need to do that, but we're not getting, oh, I know. We got to add a using statement for person, right? Data.person. Is it data.person? Data. Yeah, data. That's it. And exclamation point? No, wait. Semicolon? No. Does that matter? I don't know the syntax for this. Does this matter? Doesn't look like it matters. I'm used to putting a semicolon after my using statement. I don't know if that matters or not. It looks like it works either way. Okay. So we have that. So now we're going to have to figure out how to do this. So I'm going to go to the documentation, wherever that may be. All right here. And so I just went to the docs. I did what I did last time. I did the search. I Googled getting started with Blazor. And then it brought me to the Microsoft documentation. And then I'm going to find forms and validation. So let's see how easy this is. Okay, so obviously it's supported because it has a topic. And data annotations. Okay, so we use data annotations. Okay, so let's start adding some annotations then. Required, I think, is an annotation, right? Isn't that an annotation? Yes, it is. I don't use data annotations very often. A lot of my apps have like some complex business, business logic type rules engine. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of CSLA.net. Like a lot of my WPF apps use that because its rules engine is so freaking powerful. If you're curious and you're doing desktop, WPF, WinForms, he actually has a version for ASP.NET, MVC, all that great stuff. Anyways, CSLA.net's pretty cool. However, we're going to play with annotations. So on age, I'm not really familiar with data annotations, but I think... Isn't there like a range? Yes, there's a range. Hold on. Where's my IntelliSense? I need an IntelliSense because I don't know the rules on range. Minimum, maximum. Okay, so minimum, got to be at least 18. Maximum, no older than 65. And let's make this required too. How about that? We'll make that required. We're just playing around, right? I think there's a min. Isn't there like a min? Isn't that how that works? Min length. That looks like string data. Okay, that's not the same thing. I thought there was like a minimal value type thing. Oh, well. Ooh, we could put string length on this one. Let's put string length, maximum length. How about 5? Very short names only. Okay, so we have an object. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how this works. So let's come back to our razor here and documentation. I guess I could have just looked at what they were doing. Yeah, hey, we did the same thing, except we used person. We didn't use example model. Great minds think alike. Okay, so looks like, okay, we have to have a form and we put our inputs inside the form. Okay, so let's do that. Edit form. Let's create an edit form. And then let's throw some inputs in here. One was what, a text input, I think it was. Oh, input text, that's right. Input text, bind value equals name. No, I gotta say person dot name. Yeah, that's what I gotta do. Okay, then let's input text at bind value equals person dot age, right? That works, right? Input text. Wait. Uh-oh, hold on. Cannot vert int from string. Int from string. I can't bind an input box to a text to a number value? That's not right. That's not right. What's going on? Okay, think. Why would Blazor not allow me to data bind an integer to an input. Well, wait a minute. This isn't, okay. Okay, hold on. Maybe input, I see what they did. Input number, bind value, person dot age. Okay, I see what they did. So apparently you have to pick the input that matches your data type. Got it. And then a button. Ooh, is that an HTML button? What is that? Yeah, that's an HTML button. So, okay, it looks like these are Blazor components, but my button is an HTML button, which means it has a type on it, and I'll say it's a submit button. Okay, submit. Okay, so far so good. Let's just run it. I just want to see what happens. Entity Adam, hey, thanks for joining. Yeah, we're talking about validation today. Gonna see what we can see if we can get this working. Sorry for the video issue. As you can see, I don't have a video. I have my picture up instead because I swear right before I hit the stream go live button, I tested the video and the video was working. Like, come on, man, this is killing me. Oh, okay. Okay, so we have an issue. Edit forms requires a model parameter or an edit context parameter, but not both. Okay. Model parameter. Model specifies the top level model object for the form, edit context. What? Well, that's kind of dumb. Is it like a type? Do I got to put the type of like this? Hold on. I bet the docs have it. I bet the docs tell me what to do. Oh, okay. Yeah. Model. Example. Oh, and they have these data annotation layers. Validator. What do those do? Okay. Yes. Am I using a Blazor server app today? Yes, I am. I am using a server-side app today. And I already tested debugging and it works beautifully. Okay. So here we go. We need the @person, which honestly, I think this is kind of stupid. Honestly, that's just me. The reason being is because I'm binding to these properties that belong to this object. Why would I have to specify the object again? If I did this, then theoretically I should be able to do that. Since the top level form knows the type, the instance, this isn't even the type, this is the instance right here, boom. But I should be able to do that, but nope. I gotta be all verbose. That kind of sucks. Okay, so model, got that. Okay. Now I know the docs, hold on, let me just take a look at this. The docs have these two attributes here, these two little objects. Data annotations validator. I bet this is required. I bet these are required or it won't work. But I'm experimenting, so I'm gonna run it without it. I'm just gonna see what happens. Okay, we're just gonna see what happens. That's what we're doing here. We're seeing if we can break it, which I am actually pretty good at. Actually, I don't think there's a technology that I've played with that I haven't broken. Okay. Oh man, I need to close my my email because you guys are going to hear all my notifications and you probably don't care about that. Speaking of hearing, how about some music to set the mood? There we go. That's better. All right. So that's 0. That makes sense. No names. Let's just hit submit. All right, so nothing happens. That's expected, right? Because in the docs, they have a data annotations validator. Okay, so let's just add that only and see what happens. So Entity Adam says he's been working with Blazor for a bit, but he's been using MVVM with it. I'm not at MVVM yet. That's good to know. that's encouraging that you can actually use MVVM. Well, hold on a second. So there's a concept. Hold on. Okay. You're telling me there's a concept of like a data context of some sort on these Razor views. So hold on. I'm just going to play around right quick. Is there like a binding context? A edit context. Holds metadata related to the data editing process, such as flags to indicate which fields have been modified. Ooh, is that what you're talking about? We might have to play with that too. Okay. So I'll bring this back over. I'm gonna hit submit. Okay, cool. So I get some red lines. So if I type in Brian, that should go away, right? Yep. And 18, that's a valid. Okay, so now I get green. Okay, so we know that the DataAnnotations Validator object here makes the functionality of invoking those errors or reading those validation errors possible. Without this, it will not work. Right? It won't read the data annotations. So that means that we didn't get any messages with that. I didn't see a single error message. So I'm assuming that validation message I think it's validation summary. Whoops. Hang on, let me look right quick. I think it's validation summary. Yes, validation summary. All right, so that's pretty self-explanatory. I think what this is going to do, I think this is going to list all of my errors that are shown or invoked when I break a rule, right? So I'm going to break a rule, and that is going to show somewhere, probably in some type of text. All right. Let's check this out in real time. Oh, by the way, I have ordered my new machine. Oh, yeah. That's right. Hold on, let's test this. Boom. Yep, there we go. There's our errors. Name field is required. The field age must be between 18 and 65. Okay, so we'll go 15. Nope, didn't work. 19. Okay, that one went away. And Brian. Sweet. Well, that was freaking easy. Okay, we're not done yet. Oh, I gotta get back. Okay, so what did I get? Great question. I'm gonna show you exactly what I got. Let me pull the link up real quick. Oh, I didn't want to open my email for that. But I have it in my email because I had to send it to my boss to get approved because I'm having him pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got that kind of money. I gotta have the company help me out there. All right, so let me find that link and I will show you exactly what I got. It's right. Oh, found it. Found it. Here we go. And I'll close that email. Okay, here we go. So what I got was this Digital Storm Lumos, but it's like a custom build, right? And it's actually, so for me, this is expensive. Like, holy crap, I couldn't afford that. So I begged my company, please, please, please get me one. And they're like, all right, man, we like you. You're doing a pretty good job. We'll take care of you. But check this beast out. Okay, we don't care about the case. I got the AMD Ryzen 9 3900X, 12 cores, 4.6 gigahertz. Boom, baby. That's going to be screaming fast, right? All right. We got the MSI MPG X570 Gaming Pro Carbon, right? So these up to 2 times PCIe devices. I'll be using that for a capture card. 32 gigabytes of DDR4 3200 megahertz RAM. So I actually did a lot of research on RAM because I was thinking, oh, should I go 64? Because I do a lot of like videos and editing of videos in 4K and stuff. But actually, 32 is kind of, between 16 and 32 is what you need. Anything after 32, you're like diminishing returns based on the cost of the RAM versus the benefit. So I just stuck with 32, right? 850 watt power supply. That's sick. Like, come on, that's crazy. I got a 1 terabyte SSD, Samsung M2 Evo, 970 Evo. And then I have a secondary drive, another 1 terabyte SSD. And then, yeah, okay. Oh, check this out. This is where the power comes from right here. We got the GeForce RTX 2080 Super 8 gigabyte graphics card. Whew, man, I'm drooling. I need a napkin, right? Then we got some cool cooling stuff, like they do all this liquid cooling. I just want it cool and quiet. That's all I care about. It's like fully sealed and no maintenance and all that stuff. Fam Dave, RTX 2080, good for machine learning with CUDA. Yeah. Why didn't you go for the RTX 2080 Ti? Oh, well, I'll show you why I didn't go for that. Where is it? It's the 8 gigabyte 2080. Where's it at? 20. Because I didn't want to pay another, $500 and something dollars. Even though it's my company's money, we still have budgets that we have to be concerned about. And I don't want to be like, I just need enough machine for what I do. I don't need anything overkill. And even I think what I have is overkill, honestly. It might be a little overkill. But it should stop or prevent all these stupid like technical issues and freezes and cameras not working and audio problems and with my stream. So I'm hoping the next time, it's going to take like a month to build that machine. But I'm hoping by the time I get that machine, no more freaking technical problems with my streams. And I can actually just have a smooth stream for once. Okay, so let's get back to this. Let's get back to the annotation stuff. Well, this is pretty simple. However, I feel like there should be more to this. For example, I need to know, like when I push a button, like how do I know, like is there like a command? Is there like some type of click event? So in Angular, I would do this. I would say click equals, right? I would do something like this. Enter the name of handle click. But I'm not sure that's how it works here. So let's start by I'm going to say void handle click. Okay, so I have this. Now let's look at this. On what? Ooh, okay, check this out. On invalid submit, on submit, and on valid submit. Okay, so let's go. Oh, let's do this. Let's go handle invalid submit. And we'll just copy paste that. Bam. Okay. And then let's add a void handle valid submit. Okay, so on valid submit. Then I saw it on submit too. Yes. So we'll do this. Actually, I'll just hide that so we can see what's going on. Okay, so we're handling a couple events here. Oh, entity Atom. No, I don't do anything with Docker. Not yet. I'm not in that space yet. But when I get it, I won't run Windows Home Edition. I'm going to run Windows Enterprise, and my machine will be joined to my domain. I do work remotely. However, I'm attached to VPN a lot, and it's just easier to have my machine joined to the domain, so I don't have to like log in and all that crap. It just works, right? But yeah, no Docker yet. Haven't played with Docker. Okay, so I'm handling these invalid, valid submit. And I'm going to hit a breakpoint on each of these. And let's run this bad boy. Actually, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't join my stream machine to the domain. Because, you know, those domain admins like to put, I don't want to say junk, but it's easy to get some junk on your machine that you don't have control over based on like domain policy and like stuff like that. So maybe I will keep that off the domain. Yeah, Fam Dave, group policies, exactly. So what I might do is I might install Professional, right? Windows Professional, not Home Edition, but Professional, and then keep it off the domain so I don't get any like background processes and like you never know. All these issues I'm having with my machine could be group policy stuff running in the background, sucking down my resources. I have no idea. The big one might be power settings. If you're trying to compress video, the group policy could shut down your box. Yeah, exactly. And on this slow machine I have now, it takes like 6 hours to render one freaking video. It's like 10 minutes long. It's ridiculous. It's frustrating. Anyways, so I got an exception. So when supplying an on submit, don't supply on valid or in. Okay, so appears that if you're using on invalid submit or on valid, you can't use all three. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so we'll get rid of that one. We'll get rid of that one, and we'll run it again. And we'll see what happens. So Fam Dave, all you need is a beautiful Active Directory group policy that won't even let you install. Oh yeah, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Shoot, I almost wasn't an admin on my box, but being a remote employee, I forced them to make me one because like, look, I need to be able to install stuff on a whim. I gotta have admin rights. I gotta have admin privileges. So I got that, but that was years and years ago. Okay, so I'm gonna hit submit. And we should hit a breakpoint. And we do! We hit a breakpoint. That is awesome. Hey, I wonder if these buttons have like event handlers. I'll worry about that in a minute. Okay. So now, I'll say Brian, 19. I wish I was 19 again. Jeez. Submit. Hey. Look at that. Look. I didn't hit a breakpoint. Submit again. Now I hit a breakpoint. Oh, did you guys see that? Look, I think I found a bug. So let's break this again. Hold on. Invalid. Submit. Okay, that totally worked. I hit a breakpoint. Let's fix it. Submit. No breakpoint. Submit again. I found a bug. Yes, I did. I told you, I am good at breaking stuff. I'm so good at finding bugs. It's ridiculous. So it appears, at least for the valid scenario, let me try again with the invalid. Submit. Okay, that worked. Entity Atom, try fixing it, then tabbing away. Okay, fix, tabbed away, submit. Okay, so that worked. That worked. So there is a bug in Blazor that where if you don't tab away, it won't work. Like it has to like lose focus first. Because if you just fix it and hit submit, I bet what's happening is when you hit submit, you click off, it's losing focus. Therefore, this component will lose focus, run the validation rule. It fixes the error, but you don't go anywhere. And then hit again and it works. Okay. Maybe move validation summary at the... Okay, let's try moving it at the bottom. Validation summary. Let's take the validation summary. We'll move it to the bottom. Let's try that. All right. Build succeeded. There we go. Now, that's going to be very interesting if that works. If that fixes it. Tillman32 says the summary is just the text of what was invalid. A razor helper. Yeah, so that should not impact the problem we're seeing here. So Brian, 19. It worked. Okay. So let's break it. That worked. Okay, so now we're going to fix it. Submit. It worked. Ah! Interesting. That actually fixed the problem. Why in the hell would that work? What the heck? Okay, hold on. Okay. Fix. Click. Oh, that's crazy. So the position of that freaking message. Okay. Hold on. I need to make a note. Submit issue when validation summary is at the top. Requires, whoops, 2 clicks to invoke the on valid submit event. Okay. That's my note. I'm going to make a note of that, and I will submit that after the fact. That is craziness. But that's, well, hey, it's not RTM, right? They have time to fix this stuff. It's probably something silly. Actually, you know what we should do? We should just submit it. GitHub, right? Actually, Blazor GitHub issues. Oh, you don't think it's an issue? I think that's an issue. You don't think that's an issue? Browser validation getting in the way. I don't know, man. My expectation as a user is, for one, I should be able to put that validation block, that summary, anywhere I want, and still have that form function exactly as it should. Right? So here's issues. Hold on, let's search the closed ones. Let's search the closed one. Okay, so no one submitted this yet. Yeah, Tillman32. Yeah, it really doesn't make sense. It's just an unordered list of model state errors in HTML that exactly. It doesn't make sense to me why that wouldn't work. Like, it should work. Okay, new issue. Oh, okay. Whoop. Don't log issues here. Got it. Got it. We'll log issues at this link. So let me copy that link. Well, hold on. Before we do that, I got to search just to make sure this hasn't been reported already. 7 closed. Here we go. Here we go. Someone's... Hold on. Maybe this is it. When I add a button, it won't trigger the forms when clicked. My mistake. CSS error. Okay. Nope. Not our problem. Let me look at the other ones real quick. Because I do not want to have a duplicate. That's not it. That's not it. Nope. That's not it. I don't see our issue, so I'm going to submit this issue. New issue, bug report. On validate. How do we word this? On validate, not invoked when submit button clicked. That makes sense, right? That's the title. That makes I think that makes sense. Okay. So if you believe you have an issue that affects security, nope, it's not that. Okay, so we can delete that. Description of the bug. Okay, let's describe this bad boy. When the validation, summary is defined at the top of the edit form, and you have errors in the form. If you fix the error, I don't know if this is clear, and then immediately click the submit button, the errors are fixed. However, the submit button does not invoke on validate. That sounds right. Add a Twitch clip of the error reproduction tool. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's a great idea. I'll do that. So let's provide a code snippet. First, we'll do this. Let me shrink this down some, because this is for there. Copy that. One, two, three. Boop, boop, boop. This doesn't work. Then this works. And we'll move the validation summary underneath. Okay. Using this version of ASP.NET Core. Oh, what version am I using? Oh, let's find out. .NET-V. Oh, okay. Maybe it's .NET -- version. We're using this version. Okay, run this code. I'll just say see above snippet. No arguments. Run the above snippets. There we go. When the validation summary is defined at the top of the edit form and an error is fixed, I should be able to click the submit button and have the on valid wait, it's on valid, not on validate. I think I'm messing up my on valid submit. Okay. On valid submit event invoked. Did I spell that right up here? On, see, not on validate, on valid submits. Aha! Where were you guys? Where were you guys? You should have saw that. Okay, so on valid submit, not invoked when submit button is clicked. Okay, so when the validation summary is defined at the top of an edit form, and you have existing errors in the form, if you fix the error and then immediately click the submit button, the errors are fixed. However, the submit button does not invoke on valid submit. There, I gotta there we go. Is it possible? I can't make a Twitch clip of a Twitch that hasn't finished yet, so I'll have to come back and add that. Let's see. Nope. Fix that. Screenshot. I will actually come back. We'll provide shortly. And there's no additional context. Is there any additional context? Do you guys think I'm leaving anything out here? I think this... I want to make sure I'm describing this. In my mind, it makes sense because we all saw it go down. But if you didn't know what the heck I was talking about, would this make sense? When the validation summary is defined at the top of the edit form You have like existing errors in the form. If you fix the error and immediately click the submit button, the errors are fixed. Yeah, the errors are fixed, however. Yeah, I don't need this, but errors are fixed, however, the submit button does not invoke thing. If you define the validation summary at the end of the edit form and perform the same task, it will work as expected. I think that makes sense, right? Okay, maybe we should add an explanation. I believe this is because in the case, hold on. How am I going to say this? Basically, I want to tell them that I think the reason this happens is because when you actually click the button, you're losing focus and it's not submitting it at the same time for some reason. I believe this is occurring because when you click the submit button, focus is lost. Yeah, it's lost from the inputs, which causes the errors to be fixed. However, the submit button is not actually clicked. Does that make sense to you guys? I believe this is occurring because when you click the submit button, focus is lost from the inputs, which causes the errors to be fixed. However, the submit button is not actually clicked. Therefore, the on valid submit event is not fired. Okay. And then I will come back. So submit new issue. Okay. So, and I want to save this issue here so I can come back to it and add a Twitch clip. That's a great idea, Adam. Entity Adam. Thanks for the tip. I like that. Okay, cool. All right, so we submitted our first bug for Blazor. Wait a minute. Hold on. Is there a... You know what? Hold on, let me edit this. There. There we go. Because I didn't see a way... I didn't see any tags or anything that said this was Blazor. So I just want to clarify, like, hey, this is actually Blazor. Okay, cool. Well, where is my Visual Studio? So, is there... Let me go... I want to look at the docs. Where are my docs at? Is there anything else that we could learn from this? Okay, so the DataAnnotations Validator. Yeah, we figured that out just by playing around with it. Handle valid submit is triggered. Yep, we got all that. Oh, here's the components. Yeah. So, yeah, when I ran into that, I couldn't bind that age, that integer, to the input text. I discovered they have numbers. Oh, and a select, text area, checkbox. So this is probably for your booleans. And, of course, your dates. Input date. I wonder what their input date looks like. Hold on. I'm curious. What does an input date look like? Wait, I can't. What do you mean I can't do that? You can't just define an input date? Do I have to? Hold on. Don't tell me I have to do this. Birth date. Don't tell me I have to actually bind this thing to work. I guess I do. So I guess to use any of these Blazor components, this input text number, you actually have to bind it. You can't just define it. I mean, I guess it doesn't make sense to just define it by itself anyways. But what if you weren't, well, I don't know. I'm sure I can think of a reason for that not to be bound. I'm just saying. Okay, let's try this. I just want to know, do I get a drop down from this component? Like a date drop down? Or is it just like a text field? That's what I'm curious about. While that does its thing. Oh, well, that was fast. Faster than normal. Entity Atom. Hey, if you don't want to use the Blazor component, use HTML instead. It's actually a good point. That's a really good point, actually. Sometimes it's... Oh, it's a drop down! Whoop, whoop! Yes! Check that out. I love it. It's kind of ugly. Actually, it's really ugly. But it's a drop down. It's not just a text field. Wait a minute. How did that happen? The birth date field must be... I didn't do anything but use the... I just went like this. And then I went like this again. I don't know how I got in that state just a second ago. Did you see that? I was just clicking around and somehow I managed to break it. Look, I'm telling you guys, I'm so good at breaking stuff. Although I'm not sure how I did that. I think I came over here. Like this, this. Yeah, I don't know how I broke it, but I did. I recorded it. It's on tape. I got it. But yeah, so Entity Atom has a great point. When you're doing things like Blazor, it's easy to forget that this is just HTML. Like, this is an HTML button. Like, for show, you know? Year was 0001 and you click the up arrow. Oh, is that how I broke it? Seems like a bug. You would think there'd be logic in the control to handle that scenario. But, I mean, what are the chances of that happening? Obviously pretty good because I did it. Let's see. But yeah, this is just HTML. So, I mean, we could just throw anything in here. Like, you know, H1. Sup, homies? Up spin button. Yeah, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna hit that up. I'm gonna do 001, hit the up button. Though, shouldn't that have incremented it to 2? Isn't that what the up button does? It adds a year, so it should have gone to 02. Well, let's find out, shall we? Maybe we can submit another bug. Yeah, sup, homie. See? Just HTML. Okay, so I'm here. I went up. No, see, that wasn't it. Maybe it was down. Yeah, it was down. I hit the down. So, Entity Atom. Just to clarify, the date picker you're looking at is not a Blazor thing. Yeah, so for what I read briefly, let me go back to the docs here. If you come back up here, they have these inputs, right? These built-in components that allow us to receive and validate user input. However, when they're rendered, they're actually rendered using the HTML markup, right? So these are probably just a wrapper, some type of API wrapper that makes things easier to bind and all that great stuff, and has built-in validation and all that. And then, but when it actually compiles and renders out in the browser, it's using the HTML markup. So they're like shortcuts, right? Yeah, so that's Edge's date picker. Input. You know what? Let's take a look at this. They should be the exact same, right? Input type equals date. All right, let's try that. And they should be the exact same. So does that mean I could still use this bind markup on an HTML element though? Yeah, I should be able to do that. I should totally be able to do that. I just won't get all that validation stuff in it, built in. And we're building, we're compiling, we're waiting for localhost. You know, it's probably a good thing you don't see my camera anyways, because I am shaggy, man. I'm so shaggy. I need a haircut. I need to shave. I'm looking rough. I'm looking real rough. Well, it's a little different, Entity Atom. It's a little different. Look. Oh, wait. Maybe it's not. Maybe. Hold on. Hold on. Let me pick something. Okay, never mind. I'm retarded. Nope. Ignore what I said. I don't know what I'm talking about. At first, I was thinking they were different because I saw an X here, and I didn't see an X there. But then I quickly realized the reason I didn't see that X is because we didn't have a value. So yes, these are the exact same. Right? Okay. Cool. But can I still do... Whoops. Can I still do this? Oh, I don't want to do it there. Whoops, wrong spot. Wrong spot. Can I still do this? And Entity Atom, not bind dash value, just bind. Oh, okay. So this is used. So that should work. Do I have to use the at prop? I thought that was old school. Like, I don't have to do that anymore with Preview 7. Entity Atom is telling me I need to, I might need to put the at symbol in front of the person. Okay, never mind. I'm right. As of Preview 7, they fixed that, and that's no longer needed. Good, because that was really ugly. Ah, but it didn't work. It didn't work. Maybe I do need that at symbol. Because before, you would have to do this. But they fixed it to where you don't have to do that anymore. Hold on. Let's try that. Just for fun. Just for fun. Let's just try it. Because obviously it did not bind like we were expecting it to. Which is weird. Unless we found another bug. Did this work or did it not? No, that didn't work either. Oh, the date. Oh, wait, the DateTime. Oh. Can we do this? Oh, wait, what am I doing? I could just do this. It's like I never used DateTime before. There. It's like I never wrote a line of code before. It's brutally painful. And it should still work with that at symbol. Even if it's not required, it should still work because I think it was backwards compatible. Maybe it was backwards compatible. I don't know. I think I'm hoping it was backwards compatible so I don't have to keep rebuilding. Okay. Nope, that didn't work either. Worked over here. So last ditch effort. I'm going to remove this at there and see if that was the issue. Otherwise, that's not working. Tillman 32. It's painful but humbling when that happens. Can't possibly remember all of it. No, you cannot remember all of it. Especially the older you get. Oh my gosh, the harder it gets. Okay. Come on. This is... No, it didn't work. It's not binding. Not binding at all. Huh. I wonder why that is. That's supposed to work, right? Where's the documentation? Components. Is this where I need to look? Let's look in the docs and see if we can find something. Layouts, forms. Maybe it's under build your first app. Let's find some on click. Nope, that's HTML. That's binding to a property. But that's in the, nope, that's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. Ooh, however, look at this. Oh, got a link. Daniel J. Breen. We have a link to some docs. Let's take a look. To render a component on page view. Okay. Where am I at? Where am I supposed to be looking? Where am I supposed to be looking here? Scroll down. See, I did this at bind. Yeah, so did that. Okay. All right. You're there. I'm looking at that at bind. Maybe I got to go back up a tad because there's a slight delay. Yeah, at bind equals. I have that, right? Isn't that what I got? Where's my Visual Studio? At bind equals. Yeah, I got that. You know what? Let's try something. Let's try this. Input type is just text. Let's just do text. At bind equals person.name. Let's just try that. Simple. Says person is not a property. The example isn't binding to a model. But I have person defined. Does it have to be a property? Because that's really confusing. And the reason it's confusing, hold on, I'm gonna wait for this to load. Yeah, see, that didn't work. The reason I'm saying that's confusing is because I can do that here. Like person, right? Just a person, and I'm binding just fine. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Oops. What the? And we'll make it public, just to be absolutely 100% sure. That means I need to update that, update that, update that, update this, update that. Okay. We made it a public property. Let's see. We're setting it to an instance. So this should all... Oh, crap, stop. Look at this up here. Am I too late? Yes. There, fixed it. Okay. Now I think we got it. Because that would be really weird. If you use a component, you can bind to a private field. But if you use an HTML element, you have to bind to a public property. Let's find out. We'll test it. Come on. Okay. No! Either way, it didn't work. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my god, I'm retarded. I'm retarded! Oh my gosh, why did I... Oh. Okay. I didn't even think to realize that I didn't even set a name that we're binding to. However, we do have a date. The date is not working. But we have a name working. Oh my gosh, I wish I would have realized that a long time ago. But why would the name work and not the date? So does that even have to be public anymore? Can that be a private? Well, even a property, can it be private? Or does it have to be public? Let's find out. I guess it would help if you had values, right? But why would that work and not the date work? That's even stranger to me. Now, dealing with dates has always been a pain in the butt in any application, so it might just have to do with maybe it can't handle a date data type. Maybe it has to be a string. Yeah, so that totally worked. That worked. Okay, experiment time. We're gonna say we're gonna do a string. Birth. Whoops. Birth date string equal to DateTime dot now dot toString. Okay, I'm gonna bind this to that. I wonder if that is the issue. I mean, that would kind of suck if it was. But let's find out. Maybe the input can't bind to a DateTime type? I mean, that wouldn't make sense to me. I'm actually hoping this doesn't work because I would rather it not function than to function this way. Come on. Okay, so that didn't work either. All right, so that is not the problem. It's not the data type because we tried a string. I tried a date. So honestly, I have no idea why we can't bind a DateTime property to an input of type date. Maybe that is a bug. Again, actually, Blazor bind DateTime to input. Let's see if someone's already run into this. Blazor binding value to input. Okay, let's look at this. Maybe someone's already running this problem. Like, hey, why won't this work? Oh, wait. No. Really? Input tag might need format value attribute. It might need, yeah, maybe. But look at how whether, oh, this doesn't work. Answer. Oh, this should work. Oh, that's not a great answer, is it? Not sure why you can't use the bind attribute, however. Yeah, this is interesting. So Entity Atom is saying we might need to add a format value attribute. So let's do that. But see, oh, maybe. Hold on, because they're saying it works if you do that. Now this is old code, but you see. Yeah, President not sure. Yeah, the comment says use toString with format on the so here we tried a string, but let's try this format value. Specify. Okay, bind dash format. What did that say? Bind dash format attribute instead. So there's a hold on. Bind dash format. Bind dash value dash format. Is that? It was not extremely clear on the syntax for that. So bind dash value. Specifying event handlers and bind attributes are no longer supported. Specify using bind event. Okay, so this is new stuff. This is something new. Entity atom, that's new. Yeah. A bind, so the attribute value is used 2 or more times. Okay. Obviously, working with date times in Blazor is a pain in the butt. And it's so new, I doubt we could figure it out on our own. We probably need some type of doc. See, I'm not seeing forms, validation components, layouts, dependency injection, interop, security, handling errors. Yeah, it's not really talking about the buying. Oh. Here we go. Chris Sainty. Entity Adam shared this link. Blazor bytes, data binding, and events. Okay. We don't care about two-way. You know, okay. Format the binding. Date time. Input, select. If you wish to, you can use the format-value attribute. At the moment, this is limited to just date time type. Example. Oh, bind : format. This is what we need. Yeah, I was not familiar with that syntax. Okay. All right, let's try this again. Thank you, Entity Atom, for that link. Your Google skills are amazing. So, crossing our fingers, this should actually work. Come on. This is brutally slow. I cannot wait to get my new machine. Yes, bleeding edge stuff is painful. Oh, it's so painful it doesn't. Okay, wait. Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It didn't work. Did I put it on the right thing? Yeah, I put it on the right. It didn't work. It totally didn't work. I put it on the input because that's what we're binding to. And no bueno. Okay, so we will chalk that one up as a huge failure of the day. I don't know if that's a bug or not. I mean, I guess it's use the input date component. That's what you got to do. Binding to the input, setting the type of date. It's not gonna. It's probably not what you want to do. I just wish that would have worked. Yeah, that totally didn't work. Hold on, let me try something. What if we change the date? Oh, did you see that? Did you see that? I changed the date and it updated. It's bound. It's bound. It's working. Look, 8/4. Did you see that flash? So something's going on to where it's just not displaying the date properly. But it's bound. It worked. Look at that. So is that a bug? So Greg Kuha, he's asking, should the at be before person? Actually, they changed the syntax, I think, in Preview 7 to where you no longer need to put the at before the person. Let me go back to that blog post. Where is it at? Right here. Change the getter. Okay. We can do that. Let's modify. Oh, wait. Look. Look. Look at that. He made a string. So we tried that, but we didn't do the full. Okay. Birth date string. Birth date. Oh, wait a minute. Why is that failing? I'll get a build error. No. Cannot convert string to system.date. What the heck? Hold on. Yeah, so he has a public string. Oh. He's not specifying a date. Do you see that? So, would that fix it? Well, I'm still getting an error here. I'm not sure why, because this is now a string. I'm just going to run it and see what happens. Okay, now this isn't working at all. Does that have to be? Let's do this. What the heck? The field is 8 times the property. Yeah. So apparently dealing with let's try a rebuild. Entity Adam saying rebuild. Let's rebuild because that should have worked. Let's do a clean. And then we'll do a rebuild. Yeah, I hope that's not the case, Entity Adam. The field is a date time. The property is a string. Yeah, look at that. What if I got rid of this? What? Okay. Put that back. Yeah, that won't work if we use format. If we use format, it doesn't work. What if I'll put the date back. And I'll just remove the type of date. Let's just see what happens. So yes, if you're dealing with dates in Blazor, stick with the input date component because that actually works. Come on. So if there's one thing we learned today about Blazor, dealing with dates is a pain in the butt. Make sure you use the input date component. Okay. Okay, we got a date. It's not the right date at all. Yeah. That is totally messed. Oh, wait, I bet it's the format. Yep. Hold on, I messed the format up. There. But now I don't get my date picker. I want the date picker. Well, maybe it wasn't working because I had my format screwed up the whole time. Because I just realized we had the format wrong. Wow, who would have known we would suck so much time at a date input control? Holy cow. No, it still didn't. 25? How was that the month? No, I said month, day. Yeah, month, day, year. Oh, thank you. Into the Adam. MM. Thank you. Okay, that should be month. That should be like a drop down. Just let me like have a drop down to choose my options so I don't put seconds or minutes in there. Yeah, I thought this was going to be all about validation, but no, this turned into a date workshop. How to use dates in Blazor. It's not easy. Well, no, I take that. It's easy if you use the input date component. Then it just works. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now... Okay, I think we got it. Hold on. I think we got it. Let's add back the type date. And this should give us our picker now. See, we got to be careful when we copy and paste from the web because we totally had our format messed up. I think we got it though. I think we have it figured out. I think this is it. Into the Adam. Not your fault. The article was wrong too. Yeah, that's what you get for messing with this bleeding edge stuff that's constantly changing. Nope. Didn't work. Look at that. Did not work. Oh, the reason I thought it was small m is because look, that's what it says here. So it's not displaying properly the text value. And if I, oh yeah, this is totally busted. Yeah. Okay, so this is totally a no-go. If you're using dates, do not try to use input type of date. Don't do it. This is a dead end. I don't know if we should submit this as a bug, maybe? Or if it's just one of those things where they're going to say, well, don't do that. Use the input date instead, and you don't have to worry about it. But yeah. Dates are busted. Don't use the input type date. That's just busted. All right. Well, I think we're going to call that a day. We spent a ton of time trying to get a freaking date input to work and couldn't do it. So the conclusion is use input date and you're fine. All right. Thanks for joining me today. I am sorry for the video issues. Like I said, I tested that. I made sure everything was good before hitting the go button. And the second I hit that go button, my video blacks out. What the heck, man? President not sure one. Doctor, it hurts when I do that, so don't do that. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Gary. Thanks for joining. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. Next week, what do we want to talk about next week? Hold on, let's, whoops. Let's bring up, what else can we learn that's not too extremely painful? How about, ooh, what about routing? You guys want to play with routing next week? Map Blazor Hub. MVVM. Well, shoot. Is there any docs on that? That's going to require me to do research ahead of time. I don't want to do that. I just want to code and go and explore and play and run into issues. Well, Entity Adam, do you have a link to what you've written? Maybe a blog or something you've done? I'll review it and we can talk about it next time. If not, we'll just play with routing. But yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining. If you guys have links to share them in the chat window. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's take a look at this before we shut it down. Adam's blog. Server-side Blazor code we're using MVVM. I am an MVVM fan. What? I notify property changed. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. I'm liking what I see, my friend. I'm liking what I see. Let's see. I don't think we need that anymore, though, right? Yeah, in Blazor, we don't need this. Display. Annotations, display. Okay. Is this specific? Yeah, it is to Blazor. Look at this. Inject view model. Okay. All right. Cool. I will definitely take a look at this, and maybe we'll play with some MVVM in the next. Maybe we'll do both. Maybe do a little bit MVVM, and then we'll hop into some routing or something. All right, everyone. Thanks again. Thank you for being patient with me and watching me struggle through Blazor, and especially the date portion. I will make sure I have my video fixed again next week. And have a great week. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Be happy. And I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot, everyone.